Hello everyone and welcome to this episode of Top's Tutorial. Yeah, finally a new one, about damn time. Yeah, I was pretty busy with both IRL stuff and trying to get into Neon White speedrunning, but with both of those calming down a little bit, I figured I might as well get back to this. It's been a good series, and especially with the new CTL season starting and this being in our diss track list, I figured it would be a good refresher for both me and my team. So Grand Archive is a really good track by Metabus. To TT online, it's a bit more debatable. I know a lot of people aren't big fans of it. I'd say it's best for 2 bottom 3, because 2 can just take the best line and just drive while bottom 3 get shrooms. But overall, the consensus on this track is basically just get triple shrooms and win, simply because of just this gigantic cut over here. Pretty infamous for saving pretty much 3 seconds and getting you pretty easy first if you just get triple shrooms and can run uninterrupted. But let's talk about this TT. So, for the start, it's pretty close to just a Warriors Gold Mine start, where you start straight and just move right afterwards. Get a hop trick here in order to land pretty safely, cut a bit at the corner there. Pretty standard so far. Here comes the first semi-technical part of the track, where essentially here you want to go and aim for the little slants here. Try and go as low as possible by going pretty tight. Online you won't do this often because there's an item set right here. So unless you pull triple shrooms at like the first set, you're probably not going to do this, or unless you already have a power item that you just want to run with, or if you're like in first and your teammate is protecting you behind you. But it's still pretty fast. I'd say it saves around 0.5 compared to going around. Here it's a pretty easy, just a chain drift. And here comes the cut. So, this is the big part of the track. This is pretty much what makes it so infamous. And it comes in multiple parts. First off, it saves a bunch of time compared to going all around. Just skipping straight up is really good. Second, it's really easy to take in the sense that you pretty much have this entire area to start it. So, first can't easily back it or anything. Like, let's say first takes this line, slows down a bit, puts a fib there, you can still go wide of it. You need at least like 3 items to fully block it, and that's usually not something that any team is gonna do. Though maybe with enough coordination it could, but especially considering that even with Star you can't take that cut, you need a shroom. It makes it a bit more difficult to it would make it a bit more difficult to unblock, but it's really hard to block in the first place. So it makes it so that pretty much every single time bottom spots are going to get back up and just get a bunch of... the pack is going to be really close due to this. And those with shrooms and top spots just end up winning unless POW shock early, anything of those lines. Now that I said this, how to take it optimally. So the way you take it optimally is you don't trick, so you land as soon as possible and start a tight drift. You want to go as tight of it as possible and shroom as you get onto the uphill. So as you will see here, you just go as tight as possible, start your shroom here, instantly TF, and this will allow you to take it as low and as tight as possible. As long as you do the inputs correctly, you should always cross. You have a much higher chance of getting too much height and just landing somewhere like around here. Landing somewhere around here and losing a bit of time just by going so high up compared to losing ground and going low. As long as you rip a TF and shroom early enough as you get onto the uphill, you should always have this sort of decent height. Then pretty easy drifts and MTs. Wheelie, wait a bit for the wheelie. Drift tight, release MT wheelie, so that you can get a much better angle going into this. Wait for the trick to end to MT. Then just a chain drift here. Wheelie, chain drift, chain drift again, yeah. Take it as perpendicular as possible to get the trick as low as possible, and it is done. And then it's same shit, just go, start with a right drift and get an MT here before doing the hop trick. So overall, pretty easy track once you learn the shroom cut. I'd say it's pretty basic. Driving-wise, it's pretty basic, but honestly, I think it's a really fun track to drive. The only thing that's gonna make you lose a lot of time is the shroom cut, if you get too much height on it. Now, I must be remiss to say that this track is technically better on Daisy. because you can side trick abuse on the first shroom cuts. Yeah, essentially on the left side here. Daisies can side trick abuse here to get onto the shroom cuts without needing a shroom. So Daisy is faster here by about 3 seconds compared to like Flame BKT. So tops are a bit harder based on that, but overall it's just gonna otherwise it's just gonna be your base driving really doing a lot of the heavy lifting. So yeah, now I'm just gonna let you enjoy the proper run and see you guys later.
On the ground.